Okay, so I just got done watching a YouTube creator who basically does what I'm doing now, which is just to sit down and have a conversation and then post it. Um, I guess that's normally what I do myself, usually. I mean, some of my videos are more prepared and organized than others. But her video today was a description of a spiritual experience that she had recently, in which she helped a spirit to ascend. And, I find these things fascinating. Now, am I a medium? I suppose I am, but not in the same way as some of these others. I worked with a medium, just over a year ago. Hello, Ari. I know you watch my videos. And she really helped me to focus my own spiritual experiences and open things up so that I could receive communication from my spirit guides. Now, as these things happened, as a scientist, I was very interested in how could this work? How does it happen? And how do I even know that this is the truth and I'm not just making shit up? How do I know it's not wishful thinking or psychosis or just my imagination? And yet I kind of do know that. And I can't I post videos on here both about my thoughts on science, but also about my thoughts on spirituality. Um, so I know that some of my subscribers are primarily scientists. And I can assure those of you that I have no experimental, tangible, statistical proof, no, not even axiomatic proof of this. And yet I believe it to be true. Uh, I mentioned in my video yesterday that I suspect that my spirit guides communicate to me through attractors. And I guess you can think of an attractor as sort of like a computer program. But it would also seem that the information in them is far more compressed. Um, in the research that I've done as to what attractors are, I mean, basically, they're some sort of a set and a mathematical set, and that the set is the elements of the set are paired with elements from other sets, uh, or even sets that have a lot more structure and rules, known as groups. Uh, and that through this mechanism, a very complex object can be made, like the Sierpinski triangle, for instance, which is a very basic fractal object that I kind of use to process these thoughts. Um, so at the heart of them, I think that these attractors hold a ton of information without seeming to. I believe that they can be transmitted via quantum entanglement in some way. Quantum entanglement will not transmit classical signals, like the kind of information, bits and bytes, quantum entanglement won't transmit those things. For instance, if you want to teleport something, you have to transmit a classical signal along with the quantum entanglement in order to get the transport to occur. I think that attractors can be transmitted in a quantum manner. They are not limited by the speed of light. But in and of themselves, you can't look at it and see what information is in it. You have to let it emerge within your brain, within your mind. They will take the very complicated, somewhat chaotic system, which is the neural network that forms the human brain, and provide organization and instruction to it, which then results in certain thoughts and ideas occurring within the mind. And that's the information that I think that is how my spirit guides in particular transmit their information to me. Do I know this for sure? No, but I kind of think so. And to me, that's how spiritual information works. It's not something you can necessarily pinpoint and lock down and state logically. There's more to it. There's feeling and emotion that accompanies it that tells me, at least individually, that the information is true. My spirit guides, like I said yesterday in my video, seem to be a large collective of individuals, very large, that sing. They make music. And it is the amplitudes, the interaction of all these various frequencies, wavelengths, that, the interference patterns, they can be made into information. They are information, and there's processing that occurs, and here I am processing this. It's still kind of beyond my understanding, really. But the harmony of it, the counterpoint of it, the rhythm, the pitches, the tones, and all the interference that occurs creates something. This is a means of communication very foreign to me, at least my 3D self. And I think that's why it's so subtle. I'm just not yet able to receive and understand all of it. Um, so yeah, I think what makes the difference between, other mediums that I come across and myself is that the source of the information is very abstract. In the case of my spirit guides, and it's just not as plain. It's not as clear. And yet, over time, it does emerge. I mean, I think that some of the breakthroughs that I have made in my physics theories have come in this way. It seems to me that the ideas have occurred to me individually, but I believe they've come from somewhere else, and it has felt that way since this started happening back in 2017. I used to think, well, maybe it's the ghost of Einstein or Dirac or Schrödinger or Heisenberg or one of them. But now it seems very different from that. It's a collective of singers in a huge choir that transmit this information to me. All right, so this video is more on the quote-unquote woo-woo side. So maybe my next one should be a little bit more grounded. Right now I am studying group theory. I just learned about Lagrange's theorem yesterday, about the order of finite groups and their subgroups, and how the number that is the order, they're all divisors of each other. And I, for the first time, have been able to understand the concept of a coset. I really couldn't wrap my mind around what a coset is until a few days ago. And, within the study of abstract algebra, I believe there is spiritual truth. So tonight I will have my dinner, as I always do, while watching an abstract algebra lecture this time. And, we'll see what sorts of ideas emerge from that. So thanks for watching this video, and as always, please send me a comment. I'd like to know what you think of my ideas, but also just what ideas this content creates in your mind. What comes up in your mind as you watch my video? Leave me a comment and let me know. Thanks again.